Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening. Can somebody tell me that I am audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I am just
Good
testing
evening.
networks and the systems so that I know that it is working, and we are going to have a stimulating session today. Karibuni sana, karibuni sana, karibuni sana. I'm with you in a minute. I can see we are 7 people. Wow. This is good. At the top of the hour, we are 7, and by the time we are 10, we are going to get started and roll. Karibuni. Yes, good morning. You're at morning. Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Coach.
Hey, how are you? Good to have you today. It's another Tuesday evening when we normally meet to have our evening fireside stories. And today, I want to welcome you all to today's session, which is simple. We want to wrap up the series of talks that I have been having in the last 2 months now, since June, dispatches from America. I have always tried to welcome Kenyans to consider migrating. If you're a parent and you have children who are in school, supposing you move to a place where they'll get better education, at least for them. I know you're patriotic. Yes, I agree. You love Kenya. Ni sawa. Na hustler yake na mambo yake yote. You love Kenya. Ni sawa. But think about your children. Would you consider for their sake you parent who has children in school, would you consider for their sake to move to a place where they get better education, they get exposure so that they become global citizens? They become the people who are making the apps that we are using instead of just being consumers, pushers, sales reps of the people who own the systems. Would you? Do you know there's a very easy way to migrate to the US officially without any stress? And it's available for everyone. Kila mutu, everyone can. Everyone can. Kwa ground mambo si ngumu vile inafanywa ikae. So today I want us to look at it and we unpack the realities, unpack the truth, so that if you want, and it's convenient for you also, because convenience is very important. It's got to be convenient. You can do it. So my promise is that by the end of today, you will actually see that haya, kube ni rahisi hivyo. You know, the mind tells you that things are difficult even when they are not. The mind confuses you. And I want us to look at it critically and see what it is. Wherever there's a will, there is a way. Wherever there's a will, there is a way. And I believe that we are going to unpack and come up with a way that anyone willing can do it. But there's a rider here. Disclaimer. The opportunities available today are not going to be there forever. Yes, they are going to get saturated. So right now, if you want to go to America as a worker, this is your time. This is your time. But it's not going to be that way throughout. So you are going to have it very difficult if you take too long to take the opportunity. We are not only Kenyans who can tap into that opportunity that has opened up. In fact, we are very shallow in the way we do it. There are other countries which have organized themselves, they're doing it. Our president is working very hard, creating these opportunities for us to take in, but tunangojea yeye akuja tuchukue, alafu akupatie letter of appointment, wewe uende tu kazi. President atafanya surely. So the president is doing his part to create the opportunity. Please put on your mic, just put on your mic, please. The mic is bringing noise to the room. The mic is bringing noise to the room. Everybody put on your mic. Your camera can be on, but the mic, just put it on. You can hear the noise because you have not put on your mic. Tafadhali. Put on your mic. Thank you very much. So anytime that you come into a meeting room, always put off your mic because speaking, there's noise behind you that can flow into the room and then it's going to distract the meeting. So always is good. So again, put on your mic. Thank you. So let the mic be off. Let the mic stay off. If you're doing anything behind you, that noise comes into the room and it disrupts. It is disruptive. So when are flowing without much interference. So I want to know, is Elizabeth in? I had a co-host called Elizabeth and she did a very good job. So I requested her to become my co-host again so that we can do this together. Elizabeth, are you in?
Yes, I am in.
Oh, you are in, eh?
Yes.
Okay. You are this Elizabeth I'm seeing here. You have just one name, Elizabeth, eh?
Yes.
Okay. Let me give you the rights as a co-host.
Yes.
So that you can help me to manage the background. I've put you as a co-host. So okay. In case of anybody who is making noise, you can be able to help and you can be able to mute them so that they don't continue making noise. Otherwise, I prefer that we work together so that we are able to get the flow of the day. So how are you, everyone? Anyone who has come in for the first time today? Anyone? Let us see who is in the house. Who has come in for the first time? Can you, by a show of hand, go to the reactions? This is your first session to come for the Tuesday for Azima Business Talks. Aha. Okay. Show me your hand. Show me your hand if this is your very first time to come in. Oh, Irene Wangai. Wangai, good evening. Karibu sana. These are sessions that are started way back in March 9, 2011. No, 2021, not 2011, sorry. 2011 hata tuma iko maelezo. So 2021 is when we started on March 9, and we did it during the curfew because we were home at 6. We decided to begin evening fireside stories or moon time stories so that I were able to push the day because hatugelala saa moja, ilikuwa ni mapema sana. So tukasema what do we do? I just thought that Zoom. Supposing we bring people together in the evening and we have our fireside stories, we share ideas. That time, by the way, it was 1 year after COVID happened in Kenya, and most businesses had gone up in smoke. Businesses, venture capitalists, I fund businesses. I knew that most businesses will not be able to come back unless they are supported in a different way. Because they didn't sell what they had when COVID came. We just would pump, close. And the stocks, especially perishable stocks, they expired. So they didn't make the money and they had loans to service. So I thought it would be good for me to come explain to people how they can make money. Yes, please, the noise is still coming. Tafadhali, tuelewane, tafadhali. So let's follow the instructions given. Don't put on your mic, tafadhali. Don't put on your mic. These people who come with Tekino KH6, we want to see people by their names so that at least you're able to know. So how many, can you see there are some people who have come in for the first time, which is good. Karibuni sana. I will be getting into the nitty-gritties. I want to give this to my co-host so that she can organize a prayer and we get started. We roll. So the noise that is coming into the room, please, let us limit it. Let us actually not have it.
Okay, we have Paulina who is muting and unmuting. Maybe we can also request her not to unmute again. Just leave it as it is, Paulina. Don't touch anywhere else. If you just leave it as it is, you're okay. You're okay.
Thank you.
All right. Kinyanjui.
Paulina, I've done it again. She has unmuted again. Paulina, we are going to remove you from the court call. In fact, what you are going to do now, for us to be disciplined, we'll remove you. And you see, you have removed, you cannot come back. If you are removed by the admin, you cannot come back. So it will just be Quisha. So if you unmute again, I will remove you and you'll not be able to come back again. So tafadhali, tuelewani. So that at least you're able to max these hours. I normally give these hours free. So, and you see, I'm a consultant, but I don't charge cheap for my services. I don't come cheap, but these ones I donate free. So if you don't max them, you book Azimio now privately. You see how much it is. So this is free for you. So we want to max it. So if you make noise, you are being unfair to very many people. So Elizabeth, take it up so that you can be able to pray. Please put down your hand. Put down your hand now. I have seen that we have got people who have come in for the first time. Karibuni sana. We like visitors. This is very, very good. So many will be warming up together. So Elizabeth, take it up so that you can do the housekeeping and the prayer so that you can get started. Over to you.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Karibu. With the new people who have just joined us today, this is a great platform. So you will learn and learn. Don't be in a hurry to leave. Airtime is there for you. I'll open with a word of prayer and then we'll keep going. Let us pray. Our Father and our God, we come before thee this evening. We want to thank you because, God, you have been with us. You have taken care of us from the time we woke up in the morning. We have had our errands. And again, you've given us this chance to be on this platform so that we may learn. Thank you, Jehovah God, because of your servant who you have just given a chance to lead us in this. So we are asking that, Lord, you may give us more understanding. And as you give him more wisdom just to unwrap what he has for us, we thank you because, God, you're going to be with us, start with us, and end with us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. So, karibuni again. Coach, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. I want to take this opportunity to welcome you all again into today's session of our Zima Business Talks. As I had mentioned, I can see people are still coming in. We are now at 32. That is good. Karibuni sana. This is good at 15 minutes. We have been having these talks every Tuesdays from 8 p.m. up to 10 p.m. Those 2 hours. We normally have these conversations. I pick topics that I think can feed into our immediate needs. And one of the things that I champion and one of my goals is to make poverty and unemployment in Africa, starting with Kenya, a choice, not a sentence. My heart breaks when I see children who are leaving school today and they don't have somewhere to start their life. Parents sacrifice everything to pay school fees and to educate their children. Na watoto wakasoma na bidii. Wamemaliza masomo, hakuna kazi. Ile kazi ziko analipwa kimadharau. Ile pesa, they cannot even be able to stay on their own. They have to stay with their parents. Mtu mzima amemaliza university anakaa na mzazi sababu ile pesa analipwa akikoboa nyumba na fare na nini, haiwezi make. It's very sad. During my time, when we were leaving school, we were choosing jobs. When you left college, you were choosing jobs. And you're being deployed, by the way. Straight from college, you're being deployed. So it was not a problem. But somewhere we disconnected. There is something we didn't do right because we've been expecting the government to create jobs. Government don't create jobs. Even in the US. In the US, government don't create jobs. Government create an enabling environment for entrepreneurs to create jobs. But Kenya, we are all looking for jobs. Wanataka kuajiriwa. Serikali saidia. And that's why our children, we've invested in educating them. They are finishing school, then they have nowhere to start life. Those who are my age, now my age mates are retiring. We worked from our 20s. In our 30s, we are working. 40s, we are working. 50s, we are working. And now in 60s, watu wanarudi hata wanaomba tuwaongezewe miaka kazini. Hello, it's time to move to the next phase of our life. Retirement is not the end of you. It is a transition to go to the next stage. Ulikuwa unafanya kazi ukiambiwa, sasa ni wewe ukuwa unaambia watu. Or even you share the knowledge that you have accumulated over the years that God has blessed you to be of service to humanity. In whichever career, there's a lot you have learned. And let me say this disclosure. This time, we who are at this time, we are the luckiest generation to ever grace the face of the world. The luckiest. Why do I say this? I'm saying this because just by the time we are retiring, my generation, we are on a transition from industrial era economy to knowledge economy. What have we been doing all the time that we have been working? We've been accumulating knowledge. We'll be developing skills. In fact, we are so good. It's like me, even if you woke up me in the middle of the night, I'm at 3 a.m., when you need something about business, I'll tell you, I don't need to read anywhere. So I am actually a walking resource. If I don't share it, it's a waste because knowledge that is not shared is useless. So all what we need to do, by the way, money, it's like now, I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, I'm a trainer, I'm a speaker. All this, what do I do? I don't carry anything, I just go the way I am. And I talk and I'm paid. Good money. Kwanza wanalipanga kwanza. Wakinivite wanalipa kwanza. That's why, by the way, those of you who want to see me after this, you will pay. I'll just give you the rate. I have a rate card. You book. My PA will give you the slot after you have paid. Then you come online. I give you my knowledge, and I have made the money here too. And I do it when I'm in US. It doesn't stop me. I do it when I'm in Korea. It doesn't stop me. I do it when I'm in Brazil. It does not stop me. I just move. Wherever I am, I'm doing my thing. I go to Germany, I'm doing my thing. Anytime. You never even know where I am. Today I'm in Kenya. I'm doing this in Nairobi, Kenya. No, I say Nairobi, by the in Kajiado. I'm in Kajiado County. So I'm doing it in Kajiado. When I go to Moranga, where I was born and brought up, I also do the same. Because kuna stima, kuna Wi-Fi, naenda tu na laptop yangu. I'm unlimited. Unlimited. When I go to Mombasa, I do the same Zoom. 8 ikifika, natoka kwa pahali tuko na wazee wengine, naingia kwa room, nafanya my Zoom, I give my service, and that's it. Who can be luckier than us? So if you're not using your knowledge, you are losing out so much. So I want to encourage all of you to look at things positively and understand that we are the luckiest generation from Noah. From Noah. Because Noah naye pia alikuwa na bahati mzuri. Yeye na watu wake ndio walibaki, wengine watu waliisha. So sisi in fact I was telling people, and in God too, I didn't know exactly what will happen, but I was telling people that if you survive COVID, do whatever you can to survive COVID. Because again, that time we didn't know. It was just luck. Unashikika na COVID, unakimbizwa hospitali, unapata all the ventilators ziko na watu, na mtu hawezi tolewa ventilator uwekwe. By the way, I got COVID. My wife got it, and my daughter. We were 3 in the house. And what I did, I went to the bank and I withdrew money, 200,000 kwa nyumba. Because if anyone of us got to the level that you require to be given oxygen, at least you have some money we can pay to siende kama that doctor from Machakos, ule wa Kisii alikufa sababu the family had to raise money to get him on a ventilator. And what I was doing, that I knew all the hospitals which have ventilators in Nairobi and how much money they're charging for deposit, because ukitoka hapa ukipelekwa Karen Hospital upate huko iko engaged, by the time tena watoke hapo wakupeleke Nairobi West zakuwa umeisha. So where they go Nairobi West direct. So we used to monitor where, sababu we didn't have the money to have our own ICU kwa nyumba kama some people who had them. Wajua chapati mzuri pesa it's good. So isipokuwa ni sisi tunachezeanga pesa, hii kitu si mbaya, iko sawa if used well. So I from that experience I learned a lot. So I requested those people who had raised their hand, unless you are asking a question. You see what happens when you're speaking? If you see a hand up, it is telling you that there's something that somebody is seeing that you want to bring to your attention, or is raising something. Because I normally say, let's go to the chat box. Let's put our question on the chat box. My co-host will be reading them. I'll have breaks as we go along. Then she'll be reading your questions. Then those that you want to speak, you can write them. We also give you time to ask them. And in the event that you feel that something needs to come to the immediate attention, I can also allow you. But please, when I see the hands up, they disrupt my thought process, because I don't know. Irene Wangai, can you come through and tell us what you want to raise or what you want to bring to attention? Irene? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now we are together. Actually, it could be that there's something that you want to bring to our attention, which is good also. So I do not want to block anybody. Don't feel like you are doing something wrong if you come up with something that can help us to get this. So for the sake of the new people who have come in for the first time, I want to say karibuni sana, and I want to share a little bit of introduction, because who is Maina Azimio? It's good actually to know who I am. My name is Coach Maina Azimio. I'm a trained and certified professional coach. I am accredited to International Coaching Federation. I am also a trained and certified professional mediator. I mediate I mediate. I normally focus my mediation on commercial disputes. Commercial disputes. I have been in business all the years. I worked for only 8 years after college. So I went to business back in 1992, 93 is when I started business. So I've been in business all this time. So I have actually accumulated a lot of knowledge. So that's what I use to bless other people. Don't make the mistakes that I made. I want to help you to avoid making the same mistakes, because it's wrong to make the mistakes that other people have learned from. So we share. If I don't share, that knowledge is useless. So I am also a conference speaker. I am invited to open many conferences, Mombasa, Naivasha, Wapi, boards when they're meeting, circles. They invite me to go and give the opening remarks. I do that. I am a corporate trainer. I train corporates. I'm good in social governance, especially now ESG, environmental, social, and governance. That area we are trying to at least bring in the commercial arm to think more about how they can be able to use their resources to support social structures and environment. Environment is key. Another week, we had a very big conference in Nairobi. So if we do not take up this, and Pope Francis, Laudato Si, he did a very good appeal for the earth, Laudato Si. So if you have not read this book, please read. It is there on Google. Just Google Laudato Si and see. He even acted a movie appealing for us to think about how we can come together and ensure that we rehabilitate our common home. When we saw elephants dying in Savo during the dry season that we had last year in Masai Mara, when we see elephants dying, things are bad. And it is us who have messed the environment. We are the ones who are causing all this havoc. Instead of enriching, we are actually endangering our own lives and the lives of other animals. So Pope Francis came up with a very good appeal for Mother Earth. And I am in that space and I want to do a lot of work. So I would want you to join us. So I'm a venture capitalist. We have so much money that we are looking for people to give, but people are not coming. I'm an angel investor. I look at businesses that are aligned to my area of concerns, and we support them to grow and guide them with our knowledge and give them connections and help them to prepare a good marketing strategy. We help them to grow those businesses beyond where they're operating from. Because some businesses a business that's doing well in Nairobi could be able to go to Nakuru and thrive, go to Eldoret and thrive, go to Kisii and thrive. Kama vile Naivas wanafanya, kama vile Java wanafanya. But people don't know. The owners, most owners of businesses in Kenya don't know this. So we help them to see the bigger picture and also give them the resources to be able to do that. So I am a financial advisor. I'm a financial therapist. I'm an investment advisor. And I'm hoping that these names are making sense. Those who are in finance, they could be making sense to them. I know some people don't know the difference between a financial advisor and an investment advisor. There's even financial intelligence, which is different. There's financial therapy, which is different. I'm a financial therapist. So all these are things that I do. I'm a business strategist. And I am a serial entrepreneur. So serial entrepreneur, what does it mean? I have many businesses. So you can see, as I'm a group of companies, I run 10 businesses. And all of them are in the area of wellness, within this wellness ecosystem. So my businesses are aligned and they all support our goal. So our goal is that we exist to support life longevity to 120 years. I repeat, 120 years. Sio 70 na 80 zile munasema. Me, I normally read the Bible, and the verse I read is Genesis 6:3. Genesis 6:3. God said that our days will be 120. 120 years. So anything below 120 years at Wongei. Tanaka died last year at 119 years, 118 years and 118 days. So unaona anafika karibu na hapo. Randon died this year and she was 117 years. Surely. Why not? So I actually support people. All our efforts are geared towards that. And we do it in a big way. So from Azima Wellness Consultants, Azima Ventures Capital, that is where the money comes in, Azima Academy, Azima Retreat Center, Azima Comfort Homes, and we continue here now. We have got Azima Azifam Limited, Azifam Springs, Azima Media, Azima Nini. Now we have got a foundation, Azima Foundation, our charity arm, and Faba. What is Azima? Go to the chat box and tell me what is Azima. Azima is a Kiswahili word. By the way, my name is Coach Maina Azimio. And don't think that Azima is a corruption of the name Maina Azimio. It is not. Azima is a Kiswahili word. Go to the chat box and tell me what Azima means in Kiswahili. Because I did not take that name from my name. I took it because of the message it has. So Azima. So all our businesses, Azima group of companies, we work together, and our goal is to demystify life longevity to make it a realistic possibility for the majority. So watu wengi wanakufanga 60, 65, akienda sana ni 70. Akifika 80 hata wanasemanga ni bonus. Hello. Joe Biden, American president, ako 81 and he want to get another term of presidency. Remember just last year, Queen Elizabeth died at 96. 96 and she was still in office. Sasa wewe, why do you think you are old ukifika 70, 80 years? 96, she was still executing the roles of that office. Sasa, you are very young. In fact, watu wengi, they come to me and, wewe ni kijana, you're too young. And you should see yourself in comparison with other people who are doing very critical things. Angalia baba. But you know, Maina Azimio, I'm Azimio the first. So, lakini jina yangu wanaharibu sababu wana maandamano. I'm not the Azimio ila maandamano. But still, angalia baba. You know, baba anasimamisha serikali ya vijana. And the guy is going to 80. That's a way. How many years are you? If you look at baba, how active he is, and compare yourself with his age, I'm sure you pale in comparison. You pale. So if you look at his energy and what he does, and then where you are today, you can make the difference. So what we offer is very simple and affordable solutions. Simple and affordable solutions to the challenges inhibiting life longevity, to those years, 100 plus, centenarians. So I actually have a lot of programs and activities that we do to be able to help people to enjoy life longevity, because all of us, by the way, deep inside, we aspire to have a long life. All of us. Problem is, watu wengi wanakuwa unazaliwa, unaenda shule, unaanza kazi, unaoa, unazaa, unalea, unajinunua buroti, sababu buroti sana lazima tununue buroti, unajenga. By the time watoto wanakuwa lazima umaliza kulea watoto na unaanza kukufa. So when do you ever live, by the way? You die before you start living. Because living normally starts when you have finished paying your debts. You are born, you are brought up. You are educated, you are brought up. Na wewe unafanya hivyo the same. Ukimaliza watoto wamekuwa wazima sasa, they're on their own, you start living. Yes. So if you're not going to start living when you have finished mambo ya kulea watoto, ujue you'll die before you start living. Life is sweet. Yes. Ukishamaliza kama hasa mimi na my wife, we don't have any children who are looking up to us. Our children are grown-ups. They're on their own. We can decide to go anywhere, anytime, any length. We don't have limitations. Tutafuti pesa ati ya kununua shamba tena, ya kujenga, ya kufanya. We are now living. So this is where living now starts. So I want to help people to enjoy the phase of life that we have been losing. And the best way to do this, and the only way it can be possible, is when you take care of you, so that you don't get chronic diseases that now will make you unabebana tu hata ukipack when you're going on holiday. With your kwanza ya kupack ni madawa. You go carrying a pharmacy, madawa. Because umejimess paka mwili yako sasa inasukuma na madawa nini. Alafu the good thing, the sweet things that you can enjoy, huwezi kukula because already your body may give up. So it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong. That's what I train people not to do. So this is what the work that we do. And for the sake of the topic for the day, I want to finish it there so that there's still more. If you want to know more about Azima, you can Google us. We are on our website and you can be able to learn more about us. So today's topic, karibuni sana. Today's topic is simple. A roadmap to the US as a migrant worker. So the question is, why US? When COVID came last year, but one, and we were at home, we didn't have much work to do that time. We didn't even know what was going to happen. And we were just hoping every other day that things are going to come back to normal. They never did. The whole of 2020 never did. 2021 came, same continuation. Over that time, I did Googling because I wanted to see how different parts in the world are comparing. I just Googled, I asked Mr. Google to tell me the number, the centenarians, people above 100 years in the world, in their distribution in countries. And I was surprised, by the way. I thought it was Japan and China, now to Asia. But when I Googled, I found that America, USA, is a country that has the highest number of centenarians. That was during COVID. And even today, when you Google it, the same. That time they had 97,000. Okay, let me put it this way. By the time I Googled in 2020, that's a record for 2019, there were 573,000 people over 100 years. 573. And out of those 573,000, 97,000 were from America. 97,000. Japan was number second with 79,000. That was before COVID. COVID ikakaua wale walikufa wakaenda, especially those who were in the homes for the aged. Ikuwa shida wakaenda. But even today, America still have got the highest number of centenarians. People over 100 years. Question is why? So what I did after now studying that, and I actually found it to be a bit strange because we are told all the time by the press about SAD, the bad American diet. And we have a feeling like everybody in America eat junk food. Hakuna ni uongo. You ni lie. It's a lie. America, you get everything. But then wellness. I'm a wellness champion, and I go for many conferences around the world. And actually, America is the one that is leading in that space of wellness. Wellness is preventive health. Preventive health, not curative. So you prevent diseases from attacking you. Thomas Edison in 1904 said the doctor of the future will not treat his patient with medicine. He will interest them in the ways that they can take care of the body and use food. Hypocrites, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. That time that Thomas Edison predicted in 1904, those are 120 years ago, is today. It is today, because we're even moving away from medical care. Medical care is sick care to health care. Healthcare is self-care. And in America, by the way, America again, this country has got fasts in many areas. They are also leading in homeopathy. There's MD, medical doctors. Medical, when you hear the word medical is medicine. Medical is medicine. So medical care is medicine care. And you don't use medicine if you're not sick. So it starts when you are sick. But maintenance care, healthcare, preventive care is a lifelong engagement. Lifelong. And that's what we do in Azima. So what I'm doing and what I do for a living is that I raise awareness. I have been able to filter a lot of information on what needs to be done, when, and how, so that you can live well and you can enjoy your life. So what is life if you're not enjoying? Hello, afadhali kufa tukuzike. Kama wewe ni shida. So if you're not enjoying life on this earth that God blessed us with, hello, what are you doing? So for you to be able to do that, you have to take care of you. Self-care. And if you know what needs to be done and do it consistently, you will live well. So last year, after we were around back on air, I went to the US. And when I went to the US, because now I had that focus on having the highest number of centenarians in the world, I enrolled in a college in Oklahoma to learn what they teach people there that has enabled the people in the Americas to live longer than anyone else. There is something they're doing right, better than anyone else. Otherwise, they would not. America is not the biggest country. It's not the highest, it's the country with the highest population. But they have the highest number in absolute terms of 100 years. So that's not a simple thing, it's major. So for me, is okay, these guys are getting it right. So what I thought is that let me go, let me learn, let me know what they do well, so that I can enrich what I'm doing. And actually, when I went to Oklahoma College of Healthcare, Inc., and learned what they do to take care of people to live to that area, I was excited. And I decided that I want to come back and teach other people that. So Azima Academy was changed from Azima Academy to Azima Training Institute. Now we are registered at the TVET, because I found it a bit confusing when I tell people Azima Academy, and Azima Academy is more academic. This is not academic education. Hello, we are teaching people skills, how to live well. So I had to change our construct from an academy to a TVET. So we are Azima Training Institute now, not Azima Academy. We are still changing. When you see the logo, Azima Academy, that was who we were before, but we rebranded and it became Azima Training Institute. And what we do, one of the courses that we are training on Azima Training Institute is caregiving and assisted living. That's what they do in America. That's why they are beating the whole world. They have got the most developed systems in assisted living. We want to bring it here. We want to bring it home. And the other side of it is that right now, they have got so many demands for caregivers in America, and they're doing well. I have been sharing that. And you can Google and you can see it. You can ask the people who you know are in America and they'll tell you. So if you're earning a starting salary of $20 per hour, $20. If you work the minimum 40 hours per week, International Labor Organization, just take $40 and 40 hours times $20, and you see how much money you're earning per week. Then multiply by 4. We did that calculation 2 talks back, and it is good. And you can work overtime because there's more demand for jobs in America. Right now, when I was there this year, most of the employers of caregivers, they request, they don't force because you cannot force. The law says you work 40 hours per week. So what happens is that the extra hours that you're working after the 40 hours, you are paid 1.5 times. Hello, you earn 1.5 times. So if you're earning $20 per hour for the first 8 hours. When you want the extra hours that you put in, you are paid at $30 per hour. And most of the homes, they talk to the workers in home care, they work for 12 hours so that they have, instead of 3 shifts, 8 hours shift, they have 2 shifts. You come at 6 in the morning, you leave at 6 in the evening. Then the other one comes 6 in the evening, he leaves at 6 in the morning. So you restrict it that way. It's easier, even administrative-wise, to organize it that way. So the extra hours, you are paid overtime. So the pay come very sweet. I know you know how to calculate, and you have the calculator. You can calculate and see if you are not with us when you did that calculation. I won't go back to that. So what I'm just trying to mention is that the opportunities that are available, ziko tamu. And as I finish on that one, I have got many Kenyans who are in America. Their parents are here. They are aging. Quite a good number of Kenyans in the US, actually, by the way, they're in care, they are doing caregiving. They're actually doing assisted living. The father is here, or the mother. Na hana mtu wa kuangalia yeye. Na yeye acha kazi kule ya kuja hapa sababu hata watoto wako nao huko na wako shule. The mother is being taken care of by the sister ule ako nyumbani, ama the wife of the brother, ama mama mwingine na hapo jirani amechukuliwa kuja. Hajui, he doesn't have any idea on how to do caregiving. Doesn't know the body's range of motion. Hajui. So what are they doing? They do more mess. Not intentionally, not deliberate, but because they don't know. So what we do is that we train people the standard of America. Then my clients in America, they give us the job to take care of their parents here. And you're also paid in dollars. So you earn dollars when you're in Kenya. And if you want to go to the US to work there, and that's what I'm saying, that we can have a way that you can be able to facilitate. You can also be able to get there, and have shared how to do that. And I'll be wrapping it up with this talk. How can that happen? And it's not just caregiving. There are so many jobs, and I'll be sharing them. They are actually coming through in the next slides, so that you can see where you want to fit in. There's so much being done by people from the Far East, Philippines, Latvia, Lithuania, Romania. Hello, hata hajui kizungu na sisi tuko hapa. Tunalipa mshahara ingine kama ya madharau. Madharau. Anyway, tunavumilia kuwa Wakenya. So hata kama ni patriotism, but I have been telling people to me, patriotism is not just being at home. Sasa kukaa hapa na ni shida. Unajaribu haifanyiki. What is the point of staying here? Move. You're even better. By the diasporians are more helpful to Kenya than you. Ambayo uko hapa na kuna kitu unafanya una receive tu. Because they are sending in a lot of money here. In money is more pesa diasporians. Now America is the one that sent over 60%. That is a record from the central bank. Over 60% of the money sent by Kenyans in diaspora come from America. So if you are there and you are working there and you're actually doing God's work, because all of us are children of God. If you do a good job, then you're paid, you're enjoying the work, the people are happy with you, they're even giving you bonus. Na zingine unatuma pande hii unasaidia Kenya. You are more patriotic than wale wako hapa. Huku ni nyumbani, mimi na hapa ni kufia nyumbani. Kufia nyumbani tu. Hiyo utafanya peke yako. So otherwise, when I tell people that they can migrate, I mean that you can become more useful to this country and to posterity when you migrate. But where do you migrate to? First of the choice, and I have shared this many times, is that you choose a country that speak the same language you are fluent in. Majority of us Kenyans, kizungu yetu si mbaya. Hata kama mkoloni anatulazimisha tusome kizungu, now it's actually a blessing. Knowing English is actually a blessing. English is the language of global commerce. Language of global commerce. Internet. But the internet, iko na kizungu. Jack Ma discovered that, and he learned English. And that's how he was able to outdo other Chinese merchants. who are far ahead of him, because Alibaba became global. When them they're just focusing on their country, Alibaba is global. So anauza China na anauza hizo countries zingine. So for us Kenyans, we have no excuse for not thriving. And I want to challenge you specifically. What are you doing with your kizungu mingi? Hii kizungu tulisoma. Na hakuna kitu unafanya nayo shuleni. Na uko naye. Na saa hii in Azima, we are looking for people to come and train because we have very many programs we have developed for Azima Academy. No, Azima Training Institute now. So when you hear me say academy, unajua jina kutoka kwa akili nachukua muda eh? So Azima Training Institute, we are looking for trainers so that you can launch other programs that you're not able to learn because you cannot recruit a class without trainers, by the way. We need trainers and we pay well. Hello, tunalipa vizuri. We pay well. And you do it in the evening and early morning from 4 a.m. Leo morning, 4 a.m. I was in class. 4 a.m. up to 6 a.m. 7 a.m. up to, 5 a.m. up to 7 a.m. Then you have another class from 6 a.m. up to 8 a.m. Unaenda kazi. Ama kufungua biashara yako. Then you can also come in the evening from 6. Ukianza 6 unaenda 8 because our lessons are 2 hours each. Unaanza 7, unamaliza 9. Unaanza 8, unamaliza 10. Tunafunga, tunaenda kulala. So we have got a lot. And you see now our early morning here is late evening in the US. Right now in the eastern part of the US, it's around midday. 1:15, 1:30 Apple. So this time they are busy, they are at work. So this hour is not ideal for the people in America, but the 4 a.m. one, that is the evening. Kama sasa vile tulivyo. So it's a very convenient hour. So I've got trainers from the US who train us in Azima Academy. And I also train a lot of Kenyans in the US. Because we've been saying, okay, ukisikia hizo billions inakuja, wewe unapata gani? What idea do you have? And that's why I have been inviting people to the US so that they can go and tap into the diaspora billions. Let's go there. This July, August, we had a tour that we went to America to mingle and understand Kenyans because you must understand your clients. Otherwise, how would you serve them? And you don't even know their pain points. In business, you understand your client because you respond, you solve, you meet a felt need. When you think about abstract things, you need to have very high aptitude, which sometimes does not come easy. It's also very expensive. The easier entry point is to study the clients, see where they have got gaps, come in and meet their pain points, and they'll pay you for it. If somebody is in the US and the mother is not being taken care of well here in Kenya, and that person cannot come to Kenya to do that, do it for them and do it right, and they'll pay you happily. Yes, here too. See, if the family need a wheelchair or an electric bed, and they don't even know where to get it from, provide it. That's what I do. I actually sell the devices that are required by people who are in a state that they are not able to navigate activities of daily living. So just look at where is the pain. Can I step in and offer that? Why not? I do it, and they pay me, and we're very good friends. Inawani kifika sikukuu na nitumianga bonus. Wacha hii ya kulipwa. Wananipatia bonus because they are happy with the work that has happened. So these things are easy. Ni hapa tu. So one of the things I want to welcome you is that let's look at America positively. Achana na hii mambo mingi watu wanakuanga nayo moshene memes mingi TCIA, FBI. Okay. Hizo ni ziko, lakini surely let us not just see the negative sides. Every coin has two sides, the positive and the negative. That dollar remittances that is sent here by Kenya na tunaifurahia. If it is not for the Americans receiving our people well and giving them the opportunity to grow. Even in America, there's nobody limits you. You limit yourself. Kenyans, we are not as good as Americans are, because kama ni sisi tumevamiwa vile Kenyans wamevamia America, already kuwekuwa na uprising. Lakini now they're okay. They're okay. So, and I'm saying, I would like you, if you have not gone to America, and if you go to America, you stay in hotels, I would like you to come with me so that I can be able to give you families you can stay with. When you stay with families, you understand life there better than when you go and stay in hotels. Hotels are cut off. Enda nyumbani. Kaa maisha ya huko vile zuri, one-on-one, uone vile iko. You will be surprised. Kenyans are living well there. They're doing good. I can tell you this for a fact. The Kenyans in America, wako sawa. So, I'll be inviting somebody who is my neighbor here, who is living in America. The last 6 years he's been in America. He's still in America. He became American. I said, do you know, by the way, if you stay in America for 5 years, you become a citizen. I'm nasemanga America ni baya. Ni baya. Which other country makes you their citizen that easily? And Kenya haikuagi hivyo. One of the reasons why, if you Google now, how many Kenyans are in the US, just Google that, you see the number. You'll see a very low number, which does not give the true picture. Why? Because most Kenyans who are in the US are citizens. Whether they're not counted come Kenyans, only America. Yes, those who went there in the right way, hawakupitia back door. There's a progression. Those people who went with a green card, already they have been naturalized, they become citizens. Citizens. Those who went there, they were invited. Do you know, by the way, if your children go to America, your son or your daughter, they can invite you and do the papers for you, and you become an American citizen. Do you know that? In fact, you cannot invite your child who is a grown-up. But your child, in fact, I'm telling people that let your child go first, let them settle there, then they'll invite you. And they invite you to become a citizen. And you know, in America, kama uko 60, 65, ukifika America wewe ni kijana. Compare yourself with Joe Biden. Miaka ya Joe Biden na Trump. You see, let me mention Trump, sababu mnamjua he's a rabble rouser. He's a noisemaker, actually. Anyway, I don't like using him as an example, but Yuko. And his age actually is almost the same. So both Joe Biden and Trump are in senior age. So you see, there's no excuse why you should not be able to grow yourself at the course of miaka gani. Wewe kijana. So we'll be able to do this together, and we grow. Now, why you should go to America? Why? The reason. Kenya has a shared history with America. Remember history a bit? The explorers, sponsored by Portugal, Spain. Christopher Columbus went to America. Vasco da Gama came through Africa, going to the Far East. And the Mzungu planted themselves in America and here. Later, we became a British colony. And when the Britons found how America good, but America is a very good country. I can tell you this for a fact. America is a sweet country. Go there with your name. Just go and experience it. And they have maintained it well. Iko sawa. The forests which are there. Environmental protection policies out. Maridadi. Sometimes you are cheated that it's Kenya ndio kuna national parks. They are more there than here. Beaches. Nilienda Florida. Shida mkisema Mombasa. In shadow. And you see now ours tumeachilia. Just the way God gave them to us, the Oziko. Them, they have invested a lot in developing them. Your place. But it's a part. If you don't have money, that's what will limit you. But if you have money, uta enjoy. Disney World. Go to Disney World. Wow, watch it. America is America. America is tops. So there are many reasons why I would want you to go to America and experience it yourself. Even if it's not to migrate and stay there, go to explore, adventure. a debenture. What you'll remember is not how much money you made. It's what you're able to do with your money. And some of the things that you do for yourself is a debenture. Go and see how things are happening elsewhere. I keep on encouraging people to travel. So now what happens is that the Britons, it's not Americans who did that. The Britons are the one who came up with slavery, because they discovered more land huko farm. Then they wanted labor. They came and took our people. Chief Kivoi alikuwa anasaidia wao, alikuwa anauzia watu wetu. So they took many of our people to the other side to provide labor. They were taken there by British merchants. Then, when slavery was abolished, they became Black Americans. Those were in America. And it's even in Brazil, we have got Pele the footballer. You know, the many places that the British took over dominion, and they were growing food and everything. So they needed labor. That's why they were taking our people. So I'm just trying to show you how we went out there. We've been there. Our people have been there. After slavery was abolished in 1865, those who had been sold as slaves settled in the Americas. They are the Black Americans now. Not just from Kenya, but from Africa. You know, all Black people came from Africa somehow. Lakini ukifuata history, utapata watu wengi wa
African Americans.
Sorry?
They are called African Americans.
African Americans. Yes, thank you very much. African Americans. So you see, that is how we evolved, and they're there. So when we are going there, we're just adding into. Now America is home, by the way, and they are good. They give people citizenship. Na kuna hii mama unabuanga ati America ati unaweza shutiwa nini? Sasa umesikia watu wangapi wa Kenya wameshutiwa huko America? There's somebody was telling me, yeye anaogopa kwenda America sababu ya gani? Okay. Hapa Kenya, but then you are more likely to die here than there from a gun. Hapa polisi wameua wengi sana, wezi. We are more at risk to die here than huko. Now for sure, how many Kenyans do you hear? There are many, but there are very many Kenyans in America. Don't be cheated by what you see on Google, because most of the Kenyans who have been naturalized, and you see, before you had dual citizenship, before you got dual citizenship, you had to renounce to get the other one. There are many Kenyans who are coming to Kenya. They must go for a visa to come to Kenya. And they are Kenyans, born and brought up in Kenya, but walienda wakuwa American citizen, they had to renounce this to get the other one. So they normally get a visa. I find it very... Kama juzi wakati nilikuwa nakuja, I came with two people, two Kenyans from America. They were coming home. Tukifika airport, lazima watoe visa. Anyway, so that's a story for another day. But now I'm just trying to explain how these things happen. So Tom Mboya is the first person. He's the first person who now took Kenyans as Kenyans there. 1959, American airlift. Tom Mboya was 28 years. I've been asking Kenyans because I don't understand. Who are 28 years surely? Sasa mzee kama mimi. Na mnaniambia ati ni ngumu kupeleka watu Amerika. Kama Tom Mboya alipeleka, those days ndiye alianza. Akikuwa 28 years. Kujiamini tu. And he did it. So I want you today, can you remove that block that you have in your mind? That ni ngumu. Si ngumu. If he did it at 28 years, and actually he took over 800 Kenyans to US between 1959 and 1963. After independence, by that time, the British was against, because they were saying America is meddling on a British colony. So after independence, that program was stopped. And of course, Jeff Kennedy was supporting the airlift when he was shot. Now it also lost momentum and support. So, but he already taken 800 people. And the fruits of that airlift by Tom Mboya is the one that gifted America the first Black president, Barack Obama. Because the father went to America through the airlift. So we have got a very strong history. Our history is intertwined. And when we are going there, by the way, we are going home. So don't feel like atukienda America ni mambo kubwa. Hapa naogopa. Sababu watu wengine wanakona hiyo mental. I want you to remove that inhibition that you have in your mind, because America ni nyumbani. Wakenya ni wengi. Niwaambia when we were in Baltimore in July after the American Independence Day, the party that we had there, Kenyans barbecue and family day, they slaughtered 21 goats. 21 one day. And there were 2 bulls. So you can imagine, natulikula ikaisha. So Kenyans ni wengi, na hiyo ni Baltimore peke yake, in Maryland, and different places they are celebrating, they are meeting, they are having activities. So guys there are having more better fun than here. Hapa tumefijilika, hata tunakasirikiana, shida ndizo hizo, mabili ndizo hizo. Kama sasa hivi mafuta ni ambazo wanakuja tu tumekasirika. Hii makasiriko yote, hiyo makasiriko tumia kufanya kitu kingine, increase your income beyond the inflation. Increase your income. Income is elastic. Income is elastic. If where you work you cannot be able to get more money, you can migrate. Kwani nani alisema lazima ufanye kazi huko? Hata hiyo biashara unafanya, most of you do in business. You know, I'm a business advisor. Most people come to me when we evaluate what they are doing. We just find that they are busy, very busy, na wanachoka, but they are not in business. Because hakuna profit. Hakuna, imani just circulating, wanalipa mwenye nyumba, pahali wamekomboa nyumba, wanalipa stima, na hiyo pesa inaenda, wanalipa maji, wanalipa wifi, wanaweka gari mafuta, analipa wafanyikazi, analipa suppliers. Hakuna kitu anabaki nayo. Hakuna. In fact, most of the business, and I am challenging you, come to me. I'm going to give you free consultation. We look at your business and see what you're doing. It's better somebody who is employed in the US being paid per hour. They make more money by year than most of the businesses. I'm a business person. Business person, how much money do you make? EBITDA. Earning before income tax. Depreciation and amortization, EBITDA. So we look at the EBITDA. So if the EBITDA does not make sense, naambia funga hiyo kazi. Afadhali hata wewe America ufanye kazi miaka 10, upate pesa mzuri ukuje, then we have a structured business. You do it in a different way. Because there's a way business is done. Si kuruka tu. Being business, not being in business. So Tom Mboya was the first person, and actually it started on September 11th. September 11, 1959 is when the first group of Kenyans, 81 of them, 81 landed in the US. And this became the light of Kenya. Now, najiuliza tu swali moja. What happened? What happened? Why didn't we continue with this? Can we revive? Can we rediscover? Because I'm asking, and me, I believe it can be done. Can we rediscover the same rhythm? And because people who are there are thriving, can we reconnect that move and have other Kenyans going there to do what those who went there did, so that we can bring up our country and give hope, especially to the young people. And also those who are retiring at 67 mzee, unaenda ushago. Hello. When you're at your best, you're at your prime, unaenda ushago. 60, 65. Abana. That's what a waste. What a waste. You are so young, by the way. You are at your best. Now, if you, and I want to challenge you, just Google the aging process. This is one of the topics we teach in the caregiving program. If you go through the aging program, aging process, you'll realize that we prime. Kama saa hii, hapa, the way mine is growing now. I'm telling you, I'm running higher waves than au vijana wanazaa. Wajua wale wanazaa, wajua pia kuzaa ina kazi mingi, na it draws a lot from you. Sasa mimi leo niliacha hiyo. Si watoto wangu ni wazima. So Just enda kwa Google, utasoma hiyo utaona vile iko. So, and I'm telling you that I don't think you are old when you're 60, when you're 70. Don't. Angalia politicians. Kama judiciary, they allow judges to work until they're 75. Kama university professors are allowed to work until they're 80. Sasa wewe nini? Change that mental shift. Change that mental programming. Because you've just been made to believe that you're old. You are not. And I can tell you are not. I have seen much older people. There are doctors in America who are still, those who are running their own private clinics, 100 years, and they still do consultations. Do you know the guy who gifted us, who made it possible for us to have these gadgets? When he discovered lithium battery, which you charge and go with it, he's the one who made laptop possible, tablet possible, mobile phone possible. Without the technology to charge a battery in a retain energy that you can go with bila power, alafu nakuja una rechargeable battery. This could not have been possible. His codes are goodwill done enough. Obama gave him an honor because of the way he has boosted this. The guy is 1 or 2 years now, and he's still a lecturer in the University of Austin in Texas. You can Google him as well and see. 1 or 2 years, he's still a professor and lecturing in the university. Hello? Na unasema umezeeka. Umezeeka wapi? Wewe ni kijana. Wewe ni kijana. There's a lot that you can do, and I want you to feel that you have a lot to give to society and God's service. It is possible, and it's going to be happening. So now, when you Google now, how many Kenyans are in the US, it will give you about 570,000 there. If you Google, depending on which one that you are Googling, but it's around there, especially 2020. And America had 157,000 Kenyans in the US. These are the official ones. The one who are official, the one who have not changed status. More have changed status than this one. There are many other Kenyans who went through the back door. Kwa hivyo, they are undocumented Kenyans in the US. So when you Google, the figure you see does not reflect the reality. And I want us to get that one because it will be coming in the next slide. Because how come when you check Mr. Google, what he tells you is a figure that it does not, even if you look at how much money is sent to Kenya by the international, hiyo pesa yote kwani wanachimba wapi? They are not just this. There are many more. There are many more Kenyans there. You know, hata watu wamepewa citizenship ya huko, they are still Kenyans. It's only the papers, but they are not counted as Kenyans. They are counted as Americans because they have been naturalized. So I want us to get that one because we have. So between Kenya has, according to Chebukati, when he was registering Kenyans to vote, when they allowed Kenyans in diaspora to vote, he said his estimate is that we have got 3.6 to 4 million Kenyans in diaspora. 3.6 million Kenyans in diaspora. Central Bank has a record because all those Kenyans send money to their families here. One way or the other, kuna mazishi imetokea, wanaandikia yeye kwanza hizi WhatsApp, anatuma pesa, ana fees, iko shida gani? What they are making most people, they are supporting families here. So because the way the money comes in, they are able to get the money. So the government knows. When the government said there's about 3.6 million Kenyans outside there, I tend to believe more government records than Google record. So that is a fact. So the question is, how come so many Kenyans are undocumented? Most of it is because they went abroad without following the right channels. That contributed the biggest. And this is why in Azima, I do not want to support people to go through the back door. We want to go, people have a route they can follow to go to America through the right door. And the government is doing a lot because the president has even appointed a Department of Diaspora Affairs. He's negotiating with the governments to open opportunities for Kenyans to work there. But he's not going to get job for us. Kama mnagojea mletwe a letter of appointment na Ruto, he will not do that. How will we tap into that? How? So in fact, the Minister of Labor, Madam Florence Bori, said there are more than 15 countries where Kenyans can seek employment opportunities. These include UK, United States of America, Germany, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Canada, Oman, Qatar, and Kuwait. Most Kenyans just think about Kuwait. You know, Middle East and abused. I've never understood this one. I've never understood. How to compare the amount of money they pay there and how much is paid in America. Sijui ni nini. Sijaielewa by the way. Huko kwanza uarabuni ni desert. Maisha huko ni anyway, lakini ile kipenda roho hula nyama bichi. It's a choice. But I can tell you that you have got better opportunities in the US than in most of the other countries. Even me, US, I only compare the US, Canada, UK, and Australia. Me, I have only 4 countries that I think about. US, Canada, UK, and Australia. And in all these countries speak English. If you look at it, they have got the most robust economies. Their GDP is very high. They are more tolerant because they need us more than we need them. They need workers. And they cannot do it without us. So we are home. And again, we have a relationship. Ukiangalia, I've given you the story of how Kenyans na Americans walianzana. Hata British pia, hata kama alikuwa ni colonial tu. Ile kazi alifanyia watu wetu si mzuri. The gulag. Lakini hiyo tumsamehe pia. Sababu God is love. And forgiveness is the biggest gift. Let's forgive them. Because ukikaa na hiyo uchungu, itakupeleka wapi? Yes, walifanya mbaya, lakini okay, ukaa nayo, itakupeleka wapi? So I want to request us to move from the pain that we went through, our grandfathers went through, and start living in a different era, because we cannot reverse the clock. It happened, yes. Those who did it, they are dead now. So what do we do? Let's look at the positive side of things. Madam Bore has said that America, and Ruto has been saying this. I don't know what you are doing yourself to tap into the opportunities that are being created, the opportunities that are being opened for you and I to be able to tap into. Are you doing it? For me, I want to try, because everything that we celebrate today happened because somebody decided to try. I'm a hiker. I love mountains. And I go to the peak, but it starts by the decision to hike. If you don't decide to hike, you'll never see the summit. You never get the joy of being at the peak. One step at a time. One step at a time. That's what Tomboya did. Right now, we have got Tomboya's daughter. She's actually having the Zawadi airlift programs. And she's taken very many ladies to the US. And you have got Bob Mwiti from Meru, who has also taken thousands of Kenyans to universities. He's doing it now. In fact, I was with some of the students who are going with Bob Mwiti, but him is postgraduate. Very many of them. And it's happening. And he just started like that. He was a student. Now he's actually making high impact. Sasa, why not us? And I'm asking people in Azima that we also try our own. We come together. The opportunities are there. The government has created the enabling environment. The Kenyans who are in the US, they are the ones who are supporting this program, because we need to work together with the people in the US, because the visa program that I'm proposing, EB3 visa, requires that you get an employer on the other side, because you cannot be given a visa at the embassy here without a job offer on the other side. So it's a letter of a job offer from an American company, which has been given the authority by the Labor Department to recruit from outside the US market, because there are no workers in the US to take over the jobs. Those are the ones that now employ. Once they give you the appointment, because you have qualified, then you go to the embassy and you meet all the other requirements. I have been explaining to them here, those who have been coming in. The new people who have not come in, please watch the past recordings of these talks. You'll be able to see what is required. I might just Google EB3 and skilled visa program. It is there on Google. Me, I didn't create anything. I just use what is existing because the people who have succeeded before us, that's what they did. They tried it out. And when you do something and you are following the right channel, it will succeed. It takes time, not pop, but it takes time, but it succeeds. So migrating as a worker, majority of Kenyans migrate to the Middle East, not the US. I don't know why. In 2014, because of the many cases of abuse of Kenyans in the Middle East, all the recruitment agents were suspended by the government. And when they came back with a very stringent rules. One of the rules is that every recruitment agent must have a physical office. Hata kama kuna kazi unafanya lazima kuwe na ofisi, otherwise you will not be licensed as a recruitment agent. They must submit quarterly reports to indicate how many people they have cleared, how much they have found job for, and which country, and which company are employing them. They must monitor them. That is a requirement. And they are responding to the many cries from the families of the children in the Arab world. Anybody, can you go to the chat box? If you have heard people crying that Kenyans are being abused in America, the Kenyans who are there, and they are more than the one who are in the Middle East, they are being abused. Tell me, let's see. So go to the chat box, let us start blazing. Send the information there. How many Kenyans do you have experienced being abused in America by the employers? So I want to hear this one. So there's one thing that I've discovered. No, this information I'm discovering now because my work is not to take people. I'm not a recruitment agent. I am not. I'm not even intending to become one. But because I like playing my game using the established route by the government, I support the government, I had to look down and see what is the requirement and why. This information I've come across because I'm trying to see how do we facilitate, because the government has already created the opportunity. The PS labor has given it us. Ruto has been talking about it. The reality is then you have seen some people who are getting there. How can we scale it up? How can we scale it up? The best way to do it instead of coaching individuals, it's better to do it in an official way, and it is through agents who are licensed to do that. So I looked around and I actually saw this, and I saw that one of the limiting factor is that for any recruitment agent to be licensed, they must pay a bond of $500,000, 500,000. Depending on your size and how many countries you are taking people, it can go up to 1.5 million. What does that one tell you? You must have a very high number of people you are taking the other side for you to be able to pick up back your money, because this is your pay license. How do you recover that money? It's by the volume. Americans don't also like small things. They like big numbers. So I've tried to talk to a number of Americans, and when I can hear you. We need those people. How many do you have? I think I'll be on 50. That's a 50. I cannot even talk to you, by the way. What are you talking about? Just Google America and see how many employees that they have. We have got two small numbers that they cannot make sense. So unless you have got bigger numbers, we cannot be able to make this happen. So when we have more Kenyans, and that's why I've been talking to many Kenyans to try to tell them, okay, there are jobs in the US and the opening is there. So if we can get more Kenyans wanting to go to work in the US, we can now be able to meet the threshold, which will attract the agents, and then they'll be able to facilitate. They'll facilitate. If we are going to have kila mtu anaenda kivyake, we are going to have a very small number. But if you can be able to go through the agents, and we have people going to do different jobs, because you can choose whatever job that you want to go and do. And EB3 visa is good because after you go to America, after you work for 2 years, you can leave the job that you went to. If you went as a barber, you can leave kazi ya nywele hata uende kuwa engineer. If you went as a plumber, you can leave your kazi ya plumbing na uweze kuwa daktari. Because all what you do is you go to school. And schools in America, they're open. So you can grow yourself to become the kind of a person that you want to be. So these are things that I would want us to consider. Because some of our children here, their growth trajectory is hampered because of lack of a clear roadmap, career path marking. Some of you yourself, you're also stagnating because there's no trajectory. So supposing you shifted your base from here to the other side and you open up your opportunities to grow, it will be good for the country and for yourself, for your children. And you bring more money here. I know you're patriotic. I know, okay, sorry. I know you're patriotic. Na hiyo pesa unalipo ni sawa sawa. Na hiyo kabiashara unafanya ka turnover ya 100,000. So now for you to move out there, they must do pre-departure training. Now this is a game. Azima Training Institute came up with this program so that it came up with a college so that we can be able to do this pre-departure training, because in the US, and get me correct here, in the US, to do any job, you must be trained. If you're not trained, you're not going to do any job. And you are trained by a college that is state approved there. State approved. They train you, you qualify. Okay, qualify kwa hiyo, then you'll do a state exam. A state exam will make you get licensed. Ukitaka kuwa security guard, unakuwa trained. Ukitaka kuwa saloonist, unakuwa trained. Ukitaka kuwa caregiver, unakuwa trained. Ukitaka kuwa hata kukata mtu, but do you know in a compound you cannot cut your teeth?
Yeah, even a sweeper. A sweeper will have to.
I want to invite, let me invite somebody who is in the US. Somebody who is in the US who can tell us this. I don't want to talk about this because you see now mimi naendanga kutembea narudi. Mimi natembea narudi. I want to give you somebody who is actually in the US, who will be there for the last 6 years. He's actually one of my neighbors here, and he's been there. He has gone through this process. Yeye mwenyewe. Wacha mimi kuambia. Mimi story nawapatia. Yeye ameiendea. Me, I have not gone through that, but he has done that. So Patrick, can you please come and tell us, give us this now, the feel of the US. How does it happen by the time you land there, you want to work there? What are the requirements? How do you get the driving license? How do you get to work? Inaendaga namna gani? Hebu karibu Patrick, hebu ongea na watu yangu.
Thank you, Bwana Azimio, and it's a pleasure to share some of the highlights that anyone going across to the first world would need to be enlightened on. Well, that is a very big subject, or a very large subject, which might not be able to be covered within the scope of time that you have. But let me just say a few things that are very basic. America is also your country. Everybody in America is a past immigrant. Even the white man who is there, the Trump, the Bidens, and everybody migrated from Europe. The actual owners, who we might say the owners, or what you call the Native Americans. There are very few now these days, but they are still there, about 15 tribes or so, or what people used to call them Red Indians. And they have their own history. Now, when you get to America, you are off the plane, you will have 3 categories of entry. You have the diplomatic entries, those people with the diplomatic passports. You have the citizens entry, that is the Americans. You don't go through the same exit. And then you have the international travelers, like you, or those who have visas. They might and everybody. So you go and get somebody who is going to interview, is a customs officer, a migration officer, who is armed. Bunduki iko karibu. Because you could do anything when you are denied to go beyond the door. Because once you are beyond the door, then you're in America. When you are on this side of the door, you are still international area. So you are still not in America. And that's where you have to have your documents ready with you, particularly your passport, which has a visa on. They might not be satisfied with what they see, and they would like to probe you further with a series of questions. What are they trying to do? They are trying to screen potential evildoers coming into the society. And one way of cutting you out or smoking out is when he speaks to you, or when she speaks to you, whoever is, interviewing you, you don't connect the eyes. If you are asked a question, you start going, not looking straight at his eyes, then that is one way of detecting that this person is lying. And what they do, they put you in another room and they tell you, wait. Now they start running you back, running your your system. Ile kidole ulipoenda pale kwa embassy ukawekelea, it gives out all your history. And if they think you do not qualify to enter, they will ensure that you don't go beyond that door, and you will be escorted back to the plane, and you'll go back to wherever you came from. Okay, that is done. Lucky guy, you've gone through that gate, and you're on the other side now. So the first place you go to, you go through the machines, they check your hand luggage, whether you have anything that is alien, and you are told to declare if you have anything that needs to be declared, you declare, so that they know. If you don't, and then they catch you up, then you'll be in trouble. I remember one day I was working in the airport, and then a Nigerian lady, grandmother, came. She had prepared those food, the Nigerian food, I don't know, fufu or something like that. They have those funny names. And because she wanted to come and bring life to the grandchildren. So she didn't declare that she had this food. And then, of course, it was detected. So she was told two things. You hid that you had this food, which is not allowed. Because they try to prevent, contamination. You might bring some food that maybe might contaminate the food there, or the animals or whatever. So she was told, right, what do you do here? You go to jail, or you pay $300. So of course she doesn't have the $300, but luckily the granddaughter had now come to the airport to do what? To pick her. So the granddaughter had to pay the $300 so that she could go. And she was told, and the gentleman who accosted her was saying, yeah, ma'am, just take it easy. It's not me, it's my job. All right? It's my job. There's no compromise there. There's no shortcut. Hii mambo ya kitu kidogo huko, bure, it will land you in trouble if you try it. They like following the systems. And let's say you might find that you speak English here, But when you go there, you'll find that they speak a different English that you know. And sometimes you will not understand what they are telling you. Likewise, you could speak to them and they don't understand what you are saying. So what do you do in that situation? The only logical thing to do is to say, please say what you said slowly. And then they will be able to say slowly. They will also tell you to say that you are speaking too fast. They say that I speak too fast. I used to have that problem. And I had now to kind of limit myself, the flow of words, so that they can be able to pick them. But, people keep on forgetting because, you have to use your own natural way of talking. And sometimes you find it very difficult. But gradually, you'll be able to do that. So when you get there, you okay, you have passed the customs, the desk. Now you're on the other side. So you go to the carousel. Carousel is a machine where it's a conveyor belt where they put all the luggage from your aircraft, and then it has some kind of a revolving big circle where all the luggage is drop, and then you can be able go and grab your bag, and then you are good to go. And you walk out of the arrival lodge, and then your people if you have people who are coming to meet you to meet you, they'll be waiting for you. Maybe they don't know you. Maybe they write your name with a placard, and then you can be able to to identify who is your host. Then you have to know where you're going, because you just don't go and say you must have a host. You don't have a host, you have a hotel. You don't have a hotel, you have what we call a place or a house where you could go and be housed before you can move to your destination. So it is a long story, because from that point, now you have now to organize how are you going to live. Because as they say, people say there's a lot of money in America. That is a lie. There is money in America as long as you work. And you work in a gentle manner. No. You go, whether people are queuing, you don't try and jump the queue. You stand as the last person, and the queue continues. And by the way, don't use the word queue there. They don't know what a queue is. They say a line. They normally say a line. When you tell them a queue, they don't know. You'll find some strange kind of communications, because they don't know how to ask, how are you? They don't ask you that. They say, how are you doing? And you say, fine. Then they don't know what you are saying. How are you doing? They say, I'm doing good. They use the word good. An American is a very lazy person. Looks for the easiest way out of a situation. So they don't want to keep on saying, I'm quite well, thank you. No. They just say, I'm good. All right?
Patrick, 10 minutes, Meisha. That is the introduction. The more information will come later. So we're going to have sessions where you are going to take us through. Sababu leo, people are working, and we want to finish. We want to wrap it up. So thank you. I hope you have actually had the Nini. So thank you very much for that sharing. There's a lot that you are going to share. In fact, we are working with Patrick because he's in the US. He's actually become a US citizen. Na alienda huko kama amesha retire. He worked in Kenya. He was actually a teacher. He became an education officer. Then he retired. He stayed in Kenya for several years. Then he went to America. Now, he was invited by his daughter after she got married there, and him and the wife, they have now become American citizens. You see, so him, he has gone through the process. Me, I have not gone through the process, but I have learned it. Him, he has gone through it. So he has a lot that he can share. He has a lot of answers to the questions, frequently asked questions that he can answer. And I will be making him available. We have agreed to work with us. And he's also working with us in a way that when we prepare people here, we have got a good number of people that want to go to the US, and we prepare them here. Then he's going to work on the other side in the US because he's a citizen, and ensure that wakifika US, he's the one receiving them. He's going to house them. He's going to get them to the right jobs so that you're able to, because again, it's a requirement. You cannot just get into this without having the right process. So I have already identified partners to work with so that we can now make this a successful venture. We don't want to do anything that is going to put our name into disrepute. Sasa mimi wa age nilikuwa nimetafuta pesa kufanya nini? Nilimaliza kulea na kusomesha. Sasa mimi na bibi yangu ile tunaweka ni kidogo. Mtu kama Patrick muangalie, who do want to do anything that is going to stress him? Because what for? So what we are doing here is that we want to try to reopen what Tom Mboya started in 1959, and Kenya's benefited, and many families have actually benefited because of that determination by Tom Mboya at 28 years, and many others have done these things. So for me, I would like to look at it that can we work together and make this a success? Yes, we can.
Yes, I can say the last word. I'm sorry because maybe the time is not adequate to go a little further, but I'm grateful that I've been able to share the little that I am able to with your audience. Possibly, maybe we'll interact more as we go along, and then they be able to put them at ease so that they don't become too scared of getting there, or how hard it is. Of course, it is hard because I am not going to say to pretend it is easy, but with the guidance, it's easy and doable and enjoyable. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Karibu sana. Thank you very much. And so the word is doable. To me,
Yeah.
That is hope. Hope is very important. Is it possible? Yes, it is. Our president has done his work. Him and his peers and the ministers and everything, but the infrastructure exists. But are we willing to make it work? Who is going to activate the process for it to work? And work for many Kenyans. See watu kidogo, many Kenyans. So that is what we want to do. And we are determined. And we want to assist those who are willing. So if you think that this is for you, don't fear. Have the courage and know that in safe hands, that you'll be supported. And the government is at the forefront. We are going to get agents here who are licensed to work with first. But I know there's a problem because most of the agents in Kenya, they're crooked. In America, crookedness, highways, and that's why you don't hear many of them taking people in America. So what are shortcut? If we are known to ask employees for money, agent you break America, your license is cancelled. It's withdrawn. But this is illegal. And that's why some people come and ask me, are you sure that what you're saying is quality? How come you're not asking people for money? I say, we are only training people to qualify because you must be trained by a state-approved college. And that's what we did, that we entered into a partnership with Oklahoma College of Healthcare, Inc., which is state-approved to train caregivers. I want you just to train. Even another program. And for me, what I'll do is that goal number 17 of SDGs talks about partnerships. The way I couldn't do what we are doing here in Kenya if I didn't enter into a partnership with a college that is already approved to do that, because it will be very difficult for Azima to be approved by the American government to do what you are doing. But the one who is approved, you can work with them. So this is where I want us to look at the bigger picture and see how we can collaborate. MKU University is in collaboration also with another college in Germany. They are training caregivers in Kenya. First, they train them German language. Because you cannot go to Germany as a caregiver, unaongea Kizungu na wale unaenda kuhudumia hawajui Kizungu. So what they do is that they first train people with German language, then they train you on the caregiving skills, alafu unaenda kufanya kazi Germany. That is a kind of a partnership we are talking about here. So I want to get people who can be able to get partnership with people who are doing in beauty. Because kazi ya beauty huko ni fongo, ni mingi, beauty, mingi. Somebody who can get a partnership with a college that is teaching people mabaya gardening, mabaya waiters, hotel waiters, cleaners. Because all what you need to do is to create the institutions that facilitate this process. The ones which are not there, we create. And you see, you're not going to create a new wheel. Because the ones, if you know, like now I studied what they do on caregiving. Then I requested, no, the Bible said, knock and the door shall be opened for you. If you don't knock, nobody's going to open. Ask and shall be given to you. If you don't seek, you won't find. The problem with us Kenyan is that we don't like to trouble ourselves. So we don't move the extra mile. So what I've been doing is to see, can I test if it can work? And if you test, it works, by the way. So if you don't test, it will not work. So I know that there are many opportunities that you can tap into if we actually move into this space, and together we are going to do it. Together we are going to do it because I know there's nothing difficult, nothing. The only problem we're having in this country is that most people, it's like they have given up. Why you are giving up, I don't know. I am telling you that there are so many opportunities now that you can tap into if we work in collaboration. They're not going to be the only people who are going to do this, because when you do it alone, you don't succeed. But if you do it with others, I can tell you that you are going to surprise yourself with what you can achieve. And I have seen it happen for me. So what has happened so far is that I am in a space where I know what we can do is much more than what we are doing. But the problem we have is that we have got very few numbers. Very few. No, the people who are already warming up to the opportunities have not gone to the critical mass that the partners that we need to work with can be able to get interested to work with us. And I want us to get into that space where we have got more people who are willing to work with us so that we can be able now to grow and become a serious and a more effective move towards helping more Kenyans to go and take the jobs which are there. The way Indians are doing, hey, most of the big jobs in America are Wahindi. Wahindi are the ones who are running the show in America. Then you can get to Mexico, Mexicans. They are Pogo. You see? Ukiangalia kutoka Pakistan, kutoka Vietnam. No, can you imagine all that far? Now juu kizungu na ni wengi sana huko. So we can do this and help Kenya. So if you're willing to migrate, I want to tell you that the opportunity is there for you and you can do this. So at that point, I want to give it to my co-host. My co-host has today, my co-host hujafanya kazi. So can you take the floor and get me the question, the comments, the area that you need to address, so that I can be able to take it up, so that we are able to answer the people. They don't go with unanswered questions. Bring them on, because we have 10 minutes to go. Elizabeth?
Thank you, Coach. I think people have been listening in. They have not started posting any questions. No questions, no comments. It's just to say thank you, Patrick. We shall join you in the US very soon. Then there's some people who say you're doing a good job. So maybe people will start posting in questions now, but right now, nothing yet.
Okay, any question? Can you call any question? Anybody who can have a question, you can also raise your hand and ask a question, because I really would want to respond to any of your fears, any suggestion how we can improve. I'm sure even some of you have got ideas that you can tap into, grow this, and nobody has got all the answers. And I'm also not experienced in this space, but I know we are going to learn along the way. So far, so good. Whatever we have tried to do is working, and we can even improve it more if we work and collaborate. And I believe that if there's anyone who has anything that can fit into what we are doing, we'll be blessing our people. And the more opportunities we create, the more we are going to help our posterity. Because honestly, pande ile ingine opportunities ziko mingi. Opportunities ziko tamu. So I would want us to look at the bigger picture and see what we can do now. Before the question comes, if there's no question, we have a question put it on a chat box. Yes,
Coach, there is. How do you assist someone interested to go to the USA? And then there's another one. Let me just read what's there, and then you can just answer together. How do you assist someone interested to go to USA? Can you organize this training in Eldoret physically? I'm ready to go, but looking through postgraduate route. Are there jobs on agronomy? And the last one here, are you still taking more caregivers for training? You can maybe answer those ones, then we can move on.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Eldoret, I salute you. It's good to know that you have people from Eldoret with us, and that is very good. No, we will not be able to come to Eldoret physically because it will be defeating the purpose. What we are doing that if we are going to be working in America and everything is going online and we have got trainers in the US, if we go online, where do we get the trainers? This is not possible because I have said we are in partnership with a college in the US and it is being facilitated by Zoom online. When I was in the US, 80% of the training was online. So we don't want to go physical. Physical is also going to be very limiting because you have to have enough class in Eldoret. Then there's the traveling there. Then what is it that we are going to do physical there for the lessons, which you cannot do here? It's easier. Right now, we have got people from Eldoret who are in the class that is at internship. In fact, we have got Cheruto. Cheruto is actually in that class, and she's been doing 1 month internship in Ninyuba, I would say, and she's from Eldoret. We have also another guy from Eldoret who is in the same class. So I don't want to promise that you're going to come to Eldoret because it will defeat the purpose. So, and again, somebody else can do that. In fact, I would want us to grow and we have other people doing this because the demand is high. Kenya na mingi ni wengi wanataka kazi. Kule wanataka watu wengi wakufanya kazi. So if we grow this, we have just started. Ukianza hiyo ingine inaendelea. Agronomy. Well, agronomy, I don't know. Because some of these jobs have been taken over by robots. You know, you can look at this way. The jobs which are having high demand now are jobs which cannot be delegated to a robot. Artificial intelligence. They need people's skills, and machines have no people's skills. But the jobs which have got, like now farming, even there are machines, there are robots which actually prepare the land, they plant, they weed, they spray, they harvest, they pack. So everything is mechanized. I can assure you that some of these professions, but they will not have much to do the other side because already mechanization has taken over from that. Caregiving. Yes, caregiving we are doing caregiving, yes. We intend to continue until we get a critical mass because what we are doing right now, we are actually moving at the space that we are able to do because eventually we would want to have an agent in the US who is getting the jobs for our caregivers instead of them being deployed by the college, because the college is not a recruiting agent in the US. What normally happens that during graduation, like the time we were graduating, the time I was in college, the employers, the home for the aged and nursing homes, the Lezuko, they are the one who normally sponsor the graduation, and they come during graduation and they recruit. But the way things work in the US, everything works in a structured way. So the moment Azima, so whenever I talk to them, I tell them, how many people do you have? Like now we have trained how many? About 65. When I tell them that in Maboyani 60, they don't get interested. They want to hear that you have got several hundreds or towards 1,000. Because if they want, let's say, like one of them was telling me he needs 856 caregivers. 856. That's okay. He cannot really respond to you. So numbers, critical mass. Once you get to that, it will become very easy because most of the people that you have trained also they have a challenge because when it comes to air ticket, right now if you want to go to the US, And the way the dollar has gone up, once you get the fee, and you can just Google that, whatever airline, because different airlines will charge you different rates and also different times. When you look at that, you see now air ticket, when you get there now, where you're going to stay. My Patrick has said that you don't have an itinerary where you're going. Okay, pick airport. You're not going to be allowed through the airport if you don't have a clear explanation. Okay, umefika haya unaenda wapi? Airbnb. Uko na Airbnb nyumba unaenda kukaa ama kuna pahali unaenda kukaa. If you are on your own and you don't show where you're going to stay, that's a shida. So they will not let you in. So we want to have an agent there who can take care of that. Or Patrick is going to organize that, and then he's going to have it the other side. Then the good thing is that if this becomes solid, you can get sponsored. Because I know there are so many people who are very good at heart and they can be good caregivers. Lakini hata pesa ya kusoma tu, ya kusoma. Now you cannot get the job without kusoma. Lazima usome state approved. If you don't even have that money and you are a caregiver at heart, you can be supported because I know they are there. And saa hii vile uchumi iko, there are people who cannot afford. I know, I'm aware, and I acknowledge that. So we are still looking over how we can be able to overcome that limitation. How do we overcome it? But now the problem I'm having is, Kenyans are very poor in the commitment to work. Because the question they're asking me, okay, hii pesa unalipiwa nayo si tumepewa. It's an advance that you are going to be deducted. Supposing uende huko, umelipiwa, alafu uweze ushindwe na kazi. The employer won't keep you at work because you owe money. What will happen is that if you can't meet the threshold, after you are analyzed, you are assessed, off you go. So if you are laid off, na uko na pesa yenyewe hujalipa, nani atalipa hiyo? That is the question that we have not had an answer. How do we assess the people who are going to qualify to be sponsored and have a guarantee that that money is going to be paid back? So how do we know that? So me and my team, we are still trying to crack the formula and burning the midnight oil so that we can be able to come up with a formula that can be able to facilitate that handle so that we can be able now to get other people coming. But for those who can afford and it's your own money, it's okay. You don't find a kazi, ukishindwa kwenda kufanya vile ndakikana, well, utajisort. So lakini when you want to be sponsored and the money comes to about $500,000 or 700,000 depending on the time, so sio pesa kidogo. If you cannot be able to raise that money in a question, because ya kusoma ni kidogo, only $500. You qualify for the job, you get a letter of appointment. But now, let me explain this for those people who have gone for the first time, ama those who have not been following. Once you have qualified for the training as a caregiver, let me use the caregiver one. It's not the same for barber, for pedicure, manicure, for saloon, nanini, for the waiters, for the cleaners. You the security, you think the same. So the system is once you train, qualify. Once you qualify, now you can now be able to get job placement, which will give you a letter of appointment. That letter of appointment is the one that you use now to apply for a visa, a work visa. EB3 visa, you can Google that and see. When that one is being processed, it's a same, you have been appointed to this job, this is your salary, this one you're supposed to report, and these are the requirements. One thing they'll ask you to do, if it's in the healthcare, they're going to ask you to have a medical report. And they'll tell you what tests they want and what hospital to go to. Their cost for that. The next thing they'll ask is your criminal record check. Criminal record check. You cannot get the visa if they have not checked that. Because again, the problem is, ukifika kule na ushaenda, alafu patikano ulikuwa na criminal record, na uko kule na uliingia kule, watakurudisha ama watakuacha ukae huko. So you must be cleared before you go. The third one, they'll check your drugs. If you have abused substance abuse, drugs, hard drugs, you will not go. You will not go. This is another area that they are very particular with. So the letter of appointment comes with terms, what is required. So what they'll do is that they'll tell you where you can get that checked. When you pass the tests, is when now you go for the next stage. Unaenda ku apply for visa. Hiyo hata kama uko na pesa, kama uko sponsored, kama uko na nini, if you do not qualify in those places, hakuna kitu unafanya, haiwezekani, huwezi make. So what I'm trying to say here is that we need to manage our expectations. Manage our expectation. In fact, in my team, we are looking at how this thing can work, because I've been telling some people, I think before you come even to our college for training, there are two people I told them, no, don't even come to the training. First go for checkup, because I could see that they have some challenges which might knock them off. Kwa nini ukuje usome? Kwa sababu masomo yetu ni si rahisi. You know, it is training, because you wake up at 3:30 a.m. you go to class 4 a.m. Then kuna assignment unafanya. Ikifika ni wakati wa practicum, kuna gadgets unanunua. Then ikifika na wakati wa internship, kuna kulipa bus fare to and fro kwenda huko. Alafu after all that unakuwa umetestiwa, unaonekana ulikula bag wakati fulani. Ama ulikuwa na some wife battery. By the way, very small thing, wife battery. If you have got a case of wife battery that was recorded, usijaribu, don't even try. Don't. Then wengine naye wanakuja kwangu, mtu wako na nini, ladies in the house, I'm sorry for this. If you're a lady and you are married and you want to run away from your husband, ati unataka kuja azima ndio upate njia ya kwenda majuu, alafu uache husband hapa juu, hiyo pia haiwezekani. Because you see now, we are pro-family. We are pro-family. So I'm not going to allow you to misuse this opportunity to break your family. So you must actually have an affidavit. Our lawyer will have to check if you are okay. If you have a husband, ukubaliane. Even the husband, you don't run away from your family. So these are things that we are doing in a very open way, and we want to facilitate the transition from here to the other side in a way that it does not create other pockets of problems. We don't want to create pockets of problems. So I am not a travel agent. I'm not a recruiting agent. I am not so much interested in the movement. I want to preserve the dignity of Kenyans. So if we are going to use the good nini to be able to move, that one we are going to be sasawa. Lakini if you have got shortcuts that you are using, also you don't do full disclosures, it won't work. Don't even attempt. It won't work, because a lot is going to be done. So one of the things that people have not realized is that this is not ile unasikia watu wanaenda conference. Unakuja unaingia, unaenda na conference. Kama wanaenda sijui graduation, sijui wanaenda sijui kanisa. Tofauti. This one is a very programmed and structured process of migrating to the US. And the process is there, it's very clear. Just Google EB3, then you'll be able to see the stages. If you want to go, first make peace with the people you are with. If you are a mother and you have children, you must clearly organize about their case, because without that, how can you run away from your children and you leave them without somebody to take care of them? Do you wait them a Jew? Alafu nataka sisi to facilitate. We will not do that. We won't. Because the family unit has to be preserved. Yes. So there's much more that comes into this, and you've got to come clean. Come clean so that we're able to do this. So some of these things I think would be good to first sort them out so that we're able to separate the wheat from chaff. Wheat from chaff. Because we do not want. I don't, but they, at my age now, as when I kuja ladies in the house, and I'm not actually getting proper motives. Your husband anakuja anasema atena kuna jamaa anaitwa Azimio ndio anapeleka mabibi za wenyewe majuu. Unaacha kuona unaenda majuu, alafu mimi nakuja kutafuta unapanga na your husband. What did I do? I will not allow you to spoil my name. I will want everyone who is going to participate in this do it above board. Above board. Otherwise, we don't want shortcuts, because it's going to become another problem. I don't want to create a problem when I'm helping. I remember Jesus. Jesus alifanya kazi mingi, maji, leteni maji na vibuyu, pombe. till nini mwanajaa nikate tena ile iko na bless watu wanakula na bakisha. When it came to his hour, when Caesar said that he want to get somebody on revision, wanasema awachilia mwizi wetu Barnabas, aka jamaa aka kanaringa sana, crucify him. They did not even remember all the things that Jesus had done for them. Wakasema crucify haka kajamaa. So I know kerede ni baya. So I'm very conscious that even as I burn my midnight oil to create room for people to be able to benefit, not all people are happy. So I would not want to do anything that is going to damage my reputation in trying to help other people, because let's preserve the family unit. And let's make sure that as you go where you're going for the benefit of the family, not where mwenyewe. That way we are going to work together and we'll ensure that eventually everything goes well. So with that, I think now it's already 10 and it's past 10. So I want to take it back to Elizabeth, so that in case of any question or if there are no question, you can help us to end the session. If there are other questions, you can come into the chat box and we can be able to continue the conversation from here. Otherwise, for now, we've got to end so that we are able to sleep. Tomorrow morning, we have another class and at 4 a.m. So I have to sleep so that I'm able to come to class. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Coach. Asante sana. But Mr. Patrick, I think he forgot to mute his side. So there's a bit of noise that is coming from that side.
Sorry about that.
Yes, and fine. There are quite a lot of questions that just came in when you're talking. But after you've talked, there's so many. At least you've been able to tackle most of the questions that you were to that concerns that were raised. That is because it is past 10. It is 10 minutes past 10, and as you say, the time has really moved. I think we can end there. However, there's one that I think you should you can address. I would like to run such a program in Kitale. How do I start? Do you want that one to get to your inbox, or you'll answer now?
Answer now. What you want to do if you want to run such a program? Look for a partner, because it's about partnership. Because the only way you do, first and foremost, you get trained. I went to the US to get trained. I wouldn't do this without training. Then cover, because who covers you up? Because you can only do it with a cover from the way MKU University is doing it with the college in Germany. That's what I did. If I didn't have the partnership with the US, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't. So, and I cannot be able to give you the partnership which I'm given by another. So it's not possible. So now look for a partner. It can be done.
Now, Coach, can you tell people how they can join the training? Because that's also a question that has come up with a few people.
No, they can get in touch with our admin, and they can get. But let's go to the let's go to the chat box. Go to our website, azimainstitute.com. Azima Institute.com. All the information is there. Everything. Azima Institute. Kuna T hapa. Institute.com. So if you go to our website, we have got several programs that we are running. Explore the assisted living and caregiving course. You'll get everything, even when we are starting, how to enroll, how you need to pay, everything. So we normally keep our class small at 20. Once you get 20, we close, because you cannot be able to take more than 20 because of where we are taking them for internship. So we keep it small. So first come, first out. And we are only having one class now because we are going to December. So the training takes 3 months. So we do two months of theory. Then we go for practicals, for internship for 1 month. Those are 3 months. Now we go October and November. You get in December. We're going to have a break. So we cannot be able to do another class now. And January ni ya kwanza mwaka. So the next one will be in February. So after this one, you get in February. So at least now, let us have a break. and we relax and enjoy. You just want to go for holiday. Yes. Another question?
All right, then let's leave it. The others you've managed to tackle, and since now you've given the address where people can reach you, I'm sure they are going to benefit with the information that I'll get there, and also the YouTube page. It has a lot of information, so we'll close it at that.
Good, Liz, it would have been good to answer this one. If Phoenix and Aruja Kama, the program facilitates kids, yes. In fact, if you get this, if you get the EB3 visa, you can go with your wife, you can go with your husband, you can go with your children, or you can go and invite them. In fact, it counts everything. So I would want you to go to the chat, to the Google, and actually Google EB3 visa. You'll see all that. But it gives you a lot of leeway. You can go with them now if you have the money, but I advise, why don't you go first? Go and work and settle so that you can now be able to, because it's not cheap to go with a rudo ya watu. Now, even when you get a sponsor, nobody is going to sponsor you with the baggage. Ni wewe. Wengine, ukishapata pesa unakuja baadaye. So yes, the visa is good because it does not tie you. Again, you can go after 2 years, you can leave that job. You can even leave kuenda, kama unaenda uende Texas. After 2 years, you can leave Texas, uende Maryland, or uende California, or whatever. So it does not tie you. It's very, very flexible. And all that is on Google. So your information yote huko utapatana nayo huko. And if you have any question, you can also be able to chat me. Don't call me. Don't SMS me. I don't read SMS. But if you write to me on WhatsApp, you can be assured that I'll respond. Even if when I'm very busy, I always read my WhatsApp chats, even during break time, and I will respond to you. So I'll advise that if you want to reach out to me, use WhatsApp chat. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'll request Lillian. Lillian has been here long enough. Lillian, are you still there? Lillian Jerry Kamau.
Yes, I'm here.
Kindly close for us with the hand of prayer.
Yes, thank you for that opportunity. We thank you, Lord, for giving us an opportunity to learn, because the Bible says people perish for lack of knowledge. So we could be doing many things out here, and because we don't have knowledge, we cannot progress. So we thank you for giving us a wonderful